happened in the 90s.
Barbecue. Summer's over. Bag it. McDonald's? Hey, McRib. Let's see. McDonald's.
Man, it sounds.
So are you saying that Dusty Rhodes, the fucking legend, actually he pulled an Elvis and copped the swag from a black dude?
I mean, because I love and appreciate Dusty Rhodes, I don't want to shit on him and put that on him, put that bad mark on him.
I feel like Dusty Rhodes had the swag. Maybe it was the cadence of how he talked. Do you know what I'm saying? He stole that.
And it's just like, it's no different than the white dude that grew up in the hood, and he's got the drip, man. And I'm not saying Dusty's like maybe he was from the ghetto. And it's just like that shit just like is absorbed. The game is absorbed over time. You just got that drip, man. And I definitely don't want to say Dusty Rhodes intentionally like I'm gonna take notes from every black friend I have. Yeah.
He was Carlos Mencing in the back, like, oh damn, baby, I'm just gonna start saying Sapphire's titties like that.
Gotta have the right cadence, baby.
Well, I would never besmirch Dusty Rhodes. I just wanted to get the ball rolling off on a semi-spicy note. But, Steve, it's week 1 of football today, 9/11, rest in peace, in memoriam, whatever, 9/11. But it's NFL week 1, and I'm in my glories, Steve. So if I'm a little amped up today, that's why.
Yeah, man, fucking Murica. There we go. Heat up your fucking Oscar Mayer wieners and put on your favorite team's baseball hat on.
Don't fucking talk shit, Steve. Just because I'm happy today. You're not going to steal my happiness.
No. Mitch Trubisky is. That's his job.
No, it's not.
I'm Mitch Trubisky. Hey, everybody. It's time for a story with Mitch Trubisky. I started in the first game of the 2022 season.
And I killed it. The end. Fuck.
P.S.
Fuck Steve. Fuck Steve G.
We lost in a historic fashion, and I stopped seeing titties forever, ever.
I became blind to the titties. I mean, it could all go to shit, Steve. I'm just saying, I watched one half of football, and I'm feeling great right now. So that's not usually the case on a Sunday. Usually I'm pissed. I'm yelling. I might have scared my dog into a corner someplace because I'm screaming so much, and that's not the case.
Yeah, man. I'm going to get off your Steelers, man. I don't want to rain on your parade. I'm going to get on those Texans, though. How about that? We're the Houston Texans. Yeah. Get it? Our team plays in Houston, located in Texas. It took us fucking 6 years to come up with Houston Texans.
We did a lot of polling, and really what we came up with was this.
I remember one day at the rodeo, after I ordered my 4th mint Oreo deep fry, just something came to me. I mean, hell, we play in Houston, located in Texas. We got a basketball team that are called the Rockets. I mean, our baseball team is the Astros. I figured we should stay here on Earth, huh? Like, we don't want to go out in space. Yeah, we on the field.
What?
Houston, Texas.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense now. I was like, why'd they call them the Houston Rockets? But there was like a NASA thing there.
It's, Houston. We have a problem.
We have a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You do. You lost J.J. Watt. That's your problem. And also your problem, Elijah Wan is never going to come through that door in a Rocket jersey. Another problem, Nolan Ryan's never going to pitch for you ever again. Yeah, I appreciate that. Frame it. It's just that's the problem.
They had their time though, Steve, didn't? Well, actually, no. Now that I'm thinking about it, didn't they cheat or something? And there was some
The garbage
shenanigans.
can shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
But
It's
I
called
will
getting an
say,
edge. You know what I'm saying? If you can do it, if you can believe it, achieve it. You know.
but their team is
Okay.
good. I will say that, man.
Didn't some guy named Jeff Bagwell play for the Houston? I remember that name associated with the Astros.
Jeff Bagwell, Craig Biggio.
Some fucking, I agree with you though. Houston, they had it. They had some limelight. They did some things. Warren Moon was there for a time.
Warren Moon.
He was killing it. Fucking Eddie George killed. Well, no, was he the Titans? He didn't play for the Titans.
No, he was with the Oilers, and then they became the Titans. Yeah,
Okay.
that's who drafted him. Him and
Well, there you
Steve.
go. There's some Ohio drip for you right there. I haven't heard Eddie George's name, spoken about a lot, and he was a beast.
Injuries.
He was on a Madden, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, injuries, man. I feel like he's the Grant Hill of NFL. If it wasn't for injuries, bro, he would have been a Hall of Famer.
Didn't
For
Grant
sure.
Hill give it up for a while and then come back?
I wouldn't say give up. He was hampered by injuries
That's
towards
what
the end of his career.
Not give up. You know what I mean? He just didn't play for a while and then he came back, which usually that doesn't happen that much. Grant Hill, though, shout out to those Fila shoes you had back in the 90s with that little patent leather strip on the side.
The only feelers I would ever rock. Only ones.
Dude, I was so proud when I walked into whatever fucking basketball league I had. I went into a practice with those one night and I was just like, everybody's going to respect me. Did they? No. No, but I was a good rebounder, Steve. That was my thing. I had a fat ass. I can box some people out. I can shack some people out,
Man, you just really described yourself as a fucking whore. I had a fat ass.
I still do, dude. I have a fucking. I should be a male stripper, dude. I got a fucking badonkadonk, bro. I was turning tricks. So that's what I was doing in LA. That's why you didn't hear from me for a while.
I'm a nice man.
Times got tough. I had to just take my big ass out on the fucking strip and just do that. I had watched enough Pimps Up, Hose Down to just, know the basic way to figure it out. So I was out there doing it, Steve, selling my ass. These are the confessions.
It all started when I was 7.
As Matt does the stroll, his hole gets stretched.
My teacher said that I had a good game in Little League. And he wanted to give me some pointers after class.
Turns out batting practice isn't what I thought it was going to be. No.
I wish I would have known what kind of pointers he had in mind.
Funky butt loving.
You were out in Houston fucking selling your ass, so I don't even want to hear I don't even want to hear it.
You'll never be the same side of me while I burst.
While I burst.
Flames, want enough of this world.
Okay. I don't know where we go from here, bro.
Yeah.
See the astonishing real-life stories of people whose obsession with revenge drove them too far on America's Most Wanted. Then, attorney Simon McKeith must defend a shock comic charged with obscenity.
You're gonna lose the case unless you can keep your mouth shut.
Theirs is a match made in heaven.
You're in contempt again.
No, Your Honor, and you are!
Officer.
And all new Against the Law at its new day and time, Friday at 9, 8 Central, right after America's Most Wanted.
Well, hey, boys and girls, this is Steve G and Matt G with Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about things that happened in the 90s. So get out your K-Swiss and your Carl Kanai, and with your powers combined, I am Captain Planet. Captain Planet, he's a hero, gonna take pollution down to zero. That guys that like to lose. Yeah. No
I
one
think at
knows.
one point though, I wanted to question this, and I didn't listen hard enough when they did the theme song, but I think he's in it. It says that he's gonna pull asunder bad guys who like to loot and plunder. And does that mean he's just gonna rip them up into like pieces? Is this gonna be like a bloodbath
He
type
can.
situation?
That's always an option for Captain Planet. He's like, dude, I really just came for some environmental shit. Like, calm down on the like the fog and the haze. Like you could cut down on some cigarettes. I could really tear your fucking limbs off. But I'm just here to be like a PSA. Like, dude, like carpool maybe. You know what I mean? Turn the lights off when you leave.
I
That
put it
kind
in
of
the
stuff.
theme song. I thought you were gonna fucking understand what I'm capable of here, but if you don't pick that fucking can up, I'm gonna pull your foot off of your body. Literally.
I'm fully capable of rearranging your torso and your pelvis. You can
I will make you part of the planet. You know, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying here, but that's the vibe. So yeah, I guess I didn't know that Captain Planet was capable of murder, Steve, but it's clearly stated in the theme song. So I think we figured that out. That's that's the
totally.
R-rated reboot take that we're gonna take to whatever channel we can get to make that, Steve.
I want the crude Captain Planet. I want him to like really put people in check. I don't want like this PBS after school special. And I appreciate the real Captain Planet, but it's 2022. Let's up the ante.
I mean, backhanded dude or something, you know, some guy that's like, whatever, dumping some waste someplace. I don't know. Like the guy he goes up against, Greasy or whatever the fuck his name is. Fucking slap him around a little bit. You can fly, dude. Fly up. I don't know. Fucking punch him in the dick. Do something
Have a sense of
along.
humor like Deadpool.
Yeah, like tear him,
Have
like
some
Def
funny shit.
Comedy Jam the guy. You're going up against some fat ass greasy dude with like a hillbilly inbred guy as his number two. There's some jokes to be made there. You know.
Hey, buddy, I can make your dick a nose and your nose a dick, but I'm just really here to tell you don't litter. Have a nice day.
And I will rip your heart out of your body, so know that.
Yeah, just keep that in mind.
Oh yeah, it's a wild one, Steve. I didn't, you know, Captain Planet. Well, I'm just gonna say it. As a child, didn't really care for it other than the song. I mean, it was there, it was on, but I remember this being like maybe syndicated on what was called the Family Channel, and that was just a channel that I had no interest in. You know, you had to watch
Of
it
all the
sometime.
options. No, not Family Channel.
Family Channel. I mean, it came with, you could just plug a TV in and it would show up. That's how fucking, you know, shitty it was. They were just like, please watch this. Please.
See, I remember it on TBS. That's where it originated. But I think they ended up showing it on PBS as well. Like they partnered it up with Magic School Bus and like Clifford the Big Red Dick. But today, my friend, we're talking about all things September 15th and the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Starting off with 1990, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures premieres on CBS. Another addition to Saturday morning cartoons you new millennials could never understand.
And I gotta say, the amount of shots they're taking off movie properties turned into cartoons. There were actually 2 Ghostbusters cartoons. You know, they were doing everything they could to make a fucking cartoon out of a movie. And this one, I remember it in no way lived up to the source material.
No, it was just a quick cash grab. And of all networks, CBS. I only came to CBS for Pee-wee and those Muppet Babies. I remember when CBS even added Ninja Turtles later down the line and later in the decade. I'm like, how dare you? I still nah.
You ain't gonna get me. I ain't got an AARP card yet. I'm not watching you.
Yeah,
You're gonna put a trick on me.
that's Payless Ninja Turtles anyway.
Oh yeah. Then didn't they get dug too at a certain point? They got like a shitty
That
dug
was
where
ABC.
they made it. Oh, okay, but
And
still,
it was the
it
same
was
deal.
some bullshit.
This ain't the authentic shit. It's missing the logo on the tongue and the fucking. It's ripping already at the soul. Throw that shit away. Fucking Walmart. Fucking Jordans.
Yeah, hell yeah. Fuck you, ABC Doug.
But also in 1990, Captain Planet and the Planeteers premieres on TBS with the episode A Hero for Earth, an animated environmental edutainment series that was created by Barbara Pyle and Ted Turner, premieres on Turner's cable channel, TBS. Gaia, the spirit of the earth, summons 4 teenagers and a young boy named Mati from 5 different corners of the world to help her in the battle to save the planet. For their first assignment, the Planeteers battle Hoggish Greedly, whose oil rig operation is jeopardizing the coastline.
Yep. And Steve, I'm going to just say this right now, and I can't believe I didn't know this, but I'm starting to watch this. You know, Gaia is this beautiful black woman living in some kind of palatial apartment somewhere in the middle of Earth, someplace.
She's got a condo.
She's got a nice little spot. You know, it looks like she's been living good. And Gaia is basically Mother Earth. It's the actual physical embodiment of the word Gaia, Earth, the soul of the Earth. She's hot. I'd fuck Gaia. What's up, Gaia? But what I didn't know about this show, and I can't believe it, I'm listening to the voice and I'm saying, I know this voice. Oh, yeah. This is somebody I respect. This is somebody I know. Who is it? Is it Oprah? Because at first I was like, is this Oprah? Did they get Oprah? And then I realized, no, that's Whoopi fucking Goldberg. And sure enough, Steve, Whoopi motherfucking Goldberg is the voice of Gaia, and I had no fucking idea.
Yeah, man.
I had no clue.
Fucking Carol, bro. The fucking legend.
That's
living
crazy.
Legend. One of the few people who got the EGOT. And it's not just Whoopi. We got LeVar Burton, man. He's doing some voice work.
Who the fuck is LeVar Burton on this? Who's Geordie? Geordie LaForge.
LeVar Burton's Kwame.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't want to just say it, but okay, cool. But I didn't know that either. I didn't know it. How are they getting these names? Like, I guess it was Ted Turner. I didn't know Ted Turner created the fucking show, so that makes me not like it even more. We got some like billionaire that's trying, like this was like a marketing thing, or I don't know. It's got a good message, but
why do they need the shit on Ted? He brought us TNT, TBS. Yeah. He's a Cincinnati boy.
You're right.
Ted Turner.
I just don't like billionaires, Steve. I'm sorry, but he did help to create and cultivate WCW. He made that possible. He made the Raw Wars possible. That's dope. So I'm sorry, Ted. I have a penchant for shitting on billionaires for obvious reasons. Usually you guys are scumbags, but you're a real one.
Is it because the Braves always beat the Pirates?
You know, it could be that a little bit, but I don't remember. I'm over that, Steve. Baseball, I'm done. It's done for me. It's dead. You know, get some roid freaks back in there and maybe I'll start watching again. But Ted, I'm sorry. My apologies to Ted Turner. If you're listening, if you're still alive, which I'm sure you are, you're rich.
Yeah.
You a real one, Ted. You the best. But Gaia, okay, she's Whoopi. The voice is Whoopi. And again, Gaia living life in her cool ass fucking whatever you want to call this, condo, townhouse in the middle of Earth. And she wakes up, I think, out of like 100 years sleep, Steve. She's been napping for a while. And us humans are fucking up. We're fucking up. We're doing a lot of some out of pocket shit. So she's like, you know what? I got to do something here. Let's get some rings out. Let's throw some rings out to the populace. Let me get a couple of Planeteers to help me fix these problems. So that's where we get introduced. We just basically go down the line, Planeteer to Planeteer. I don't know how she picked these people, whether it was just like chance, maybe there were better options, but
just randomly. Yep. We got Kwame from Africa with the power of earth, Wheeler from North America with the power of fire, Linga from Soviet Union with the power of wind, Guy from Asia with the power of water, and Mati from South America with the power of heart. That is why he's my favorite. I fucks with Mati. He got heart, cuz.
See, hell no. I like the earth, dude. I was like, that's that and fire, but I didn't like Wheeler because in this show also, Steve, there's this thing where all these people are from different nations, right? Mm-hmm. Wheeler's our representative. He's the U.S. rep. And Wheeler's kind of a dick. He's always fucking up. He's always saying some fucked up shit. And they're like, oh, typical American. He's like, let's fucking burn this shit. And he's almost
from Brooklyn.
Exactly. But he's also a redhead. I don't like that. Don't pick a redhead, Steve. Let's not put that curse on there.
Don't shoot. If my close personal friend Mark Calloway was here right now, he would tombstone you. I would
sorry,
send him your
Mark.
address.
Rest in peace. He don't fuck that, dude. He don't rock it now. He put that dye in there, Steve. He didn't want that. He didn't want to be labeled a ginge.
He's true to his roots.
Okay. I'm just insulting people. You know, I'm just
Ron
out
Howard
here-
would
I'm
slap
just
you
out
if he heard that.
Nah, he knows. He knows. He's trying to make good on it by making some good entertainment, but he knows. He knows what's up.
Oh yeah, really?
But anyway, Steve, these people get rings. They're doing their respective things. You know, Kwame's planting some crops, and all of a sudden he looks on his little crop stick and it's got a ring on it. You know, these things are just popping out of nowhere. And to be honest with you, glad that she chose well, but what if these rings went into the hands of somebody, you know, like the guy they're going up against, Greedy or Greeley or whatever, Grizzly?
Hey Richard, hey, check out this ring.
I can make weed just grow out of the ground, dude.
Yeah, I said, see that right away. If I got it, we're fucked, Steve. I'm not even going to show up to the meetings.
It's like, yeah, I was supposed to go to this little function at like noon. I
This Gaia bitch keep calling me, dude. I don't want to go there. Her house smells funky as fuck. She was like asleep for 100 years or so. It's crazy. I think this chick's on
we'll
pills.
call it a day on this one. Yeah, I'll catch up by the end of the week. But yeah, Gee's doing tricks with the Dolphins, and Wheeler's scaring off thugs in Brooklyn. Linka's playing some Soviet tunes on her keyboard for the birds, and Mati's down in South America scaring off leopards. You know what I'm saying? Fucking wildcat. This motherfucker, like, they were about to eat the kid. Mati just comes down like Tarzan, like, bitch. And he scares the fucking leopards because
He ain't even got a
heart,
ring
man.
yet, Steve. He just got balls.
But he's got exactly. That's why I fucks with Mati.
You know, the more you say it, because honestly, like I said, as a kid, I ain't fucking with the heart one. The heart, I'd be pissed if I got heart, Steve. I'd be pissed.
dude.
I want to make fire come out, or I want to make a big ass tornado come out. I don't want to have the fish just said it was in pain.
But see, they even say this in the episode, Matt. None of that shit will shake unless it, like, the heart is present. Because all of that shit that you said, like, they could take all of that shit and use it for devious gains. But the heart, because of the presence of the heart, it's to save the world.
I mean, you're right, Steve, and that's what you're right. Gaia says that. They all get their rings. Gaia brings them over to her estate and kind of explains what's going on, because these were just normal people. Now they're superheroes, basically. And she's like, she explains what Steve said, that you all have these powers. We need to save the earth. But I keep wanting to call this guy Mowgli. Mati is he's like the moral compass. You guys all got the good shit. He's going to tell you what to do, basically, or if you're good or bad or whatnot. So they're basically set out on their mission. They don't seem like even amazed that they've met a god or been in, you know, they're just like, oh, like, can I get a sandwich?
Yeah. they just show up.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't pay airfare.
Well, and here's the thing, Steve. Then they're done. Meeting adjourned. Go out and save the earth. Here's a plane to fly around. And these people don't have any training, but they got a fucking yellow jet thing that they get to fly from job to job. That's pretty dope. But I'd be a little concerned, because I'd be like, did one of these rings tell us how to do this?
They're homies with God. No questions asked.
Yeah, you're right. They know God. So now they're out and about. They're on their mission. They're going to some ocean where there's some fucked up shit going on with some oil because of this guy, Greedly. He's a
Hoggish
fucking...
Greedly.
He looks like a pig. He sounds like a pig. He has a familiar voice, too. I think this is somebody that if you saw the voice actor's face, you know, but he's fucking up. He's got like a transformer drill that's, you know, he's Exxon, Steve. He's busting oil nuts all over the place. He's putting it all over seals, ducks, your mom. Like, it doesn't matter. Oil's going everywhere. Got to stop this.
And Gaia, she has the nerve. Like, she just falls back. Like, look, I just commissioned you guys. Like, they could have been, like, imagine eating Doritos on your couch, watching, like, you know, HBO Max. And it's just like, oh, like, I'm in this fucking random ass place. And this person who calls himself God, she's got like silver streaks and shit. Shit's kind of weird. She sends me on this mission to save the world with these like complete strangers on some real world shit. And like, oh yeah, she's not even going to help out. He's just like, yeah, I'm just going to watch. Bitch, I need a helping hand.
Yeah, hey God, you want to help out? You threw a bunch of kids over here, you know, fucking Mati's talking to fish. I like he's over here in the corner. I don't know what to do. There's a guy with a drill 100 feet tall trying to fuck us up. You can't come? No, I have to stay. I have to stay in my apartment. She's what is it called? Agoraphobic, Steve. She's trying to be Charlie's Angels. I'd be like, bitch, like, can you throw a lightning bolt? Can you
like,
do
you
something?
don't want with the plan, bitch. Like, why did you call us? Like, you know better than us. Like, so, bitch, all you telling me all we got to do is put our rings together. This is a big motherfucker. He just got this damn 2025 drill. This shit can maul all of us. All right, bitch.
There's some fucking redneck up there looking to fucking ass rape a couple of us too. We don't know what he's capable of. And here's the thing, Steve. This is what I thought was hilarious. She's like, look, you guys all have these rings. You all have singular powers. You can combine the powers and you'll be stronger. But she doesn't really tell them what will happen when they combine powers. She just like, if you need to, that's like the go-to. If an emergency happens, combine and something's going to happen. It's going to be awesome, but I'm not going to tell you.
And she doesn't even give them practice rounds.
No.
She tells them the shit. It's like, pronto, we got to go there now. He's drilling up the world. Like, bitch, this is a lot to digest, bitch.
I'm in my head all the time anyway. Like, if this happened to me, I'd be like in a panic in the jet. Like, is there a manual? Do we got a booklet? Is she on the phone? Is there what's going on? Like,
let's slow it down, guy. Can we sit down somewhere? Can I call you Gigi? Hey, all right, Gigi, like, look.
Listen,
first,
girl.
like, hold up. Who are you? Like, can I look you up on white pages? Can I, like,
and also, what's your sign? Because you're sexy as hell, but, you know, can we fuck? Or what is that going on? Is that what's happening at the end of all this? Or what's going on here?
Fun fact, I do eat ass. But back to, like, all of this. Like, what the fuck?
It's not clear. There's not instructions, Steve. There's nothing. It's not even like a Marvel movie where you lead up. They're just like, hey, here's a jet. Throw it on autopilot. It's going to take you to a place. Figure it out. And I mean, these people might not even be out of high school. I don't know. I don't know what's going. Maybe the Soviet Union chicks, they don't have a school where she's from. I don't know.
Where is our pilot? How is this shit operating?
So they get there. They're flying around. They see the problem. They see Greedly. Greedly's got a bad attitude. He's fucking shit up, and he knows it. And he's Greedly. He's got a great name. He's a pig that wants fucking to just suck all the blood out of Earth and make it into money with his redneck buddy. That's, you know, he's paying that guy in beers. You know, that guy ain't getting any of it.
In barbacoa.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe not. Maybe not even that. He's like, here's some baloney, dude. Go fucking figure this out. And at first, he's getting a drop on these guys. You know, they summon some shit. They use the rings. They're doing okay. But this guy, every time they do something, his fucking drill like grows a sword hand or a scissors or a laser. He's got a gun, I think. Maybe he even has a gun. And they forces them to combine powers, Steve. So they do it. And then this the sting that made of glass with no face paint comes out, And they're like, "Who the fuck are you, dude?" Because
Shit
they
just
didn't
got
know.
really weird. Now I have another question to ask.
Dude, can you put
Like,
more
so-
clothes on, bro? You're half naked. We're kids.
like what supercuts are you going to, sir?
I mean, that's hair cuttery, Steve. That's the hair cuttery spec. They didn't even got this cowlicks on the side trimmed up.
He's got the little Christopher Reeve joint.
And he's there. And here's the thing, Steve. He's Captain Planet. He could probably sling that thing out of the ocean into space and just call it. But no, at first he's fucking around. He's flying around. And the other thing, when they call Captain Planet, the people at the rings, they're civilians. They ain't got nothing to do. They can't fucking call anything. They're just fucking calling 911 at this point.
Yeah, just get out some popcorn. This green haired dude with the flat top, he just fucking flew out of nowhere. Like, I think he can do some things. Like, let's just see where it goes from here.
And but unfortunately, Greedly's like he's not even phased. He's like, oh, flying glass, fucking a glass dildo flying around. Fuck him. He fucking sprays him up with toxic waste out of his toxic waste hose that he has from just this. Like, how scummy is this guy? He has a machine to not only drill oil, but it spews toxic waste, Steve.
Monster
Jesus.
Mass Super Vibrator. Sunday, Sunday.
So, Captain Planet, it's like Superman and Kryptonite. You throw a little toxic, you throw a fucking Burger King wrapper on this guy, KO, Steve. It's all.
His energy just dissipates. And then, they have the Marvel idea to throw some water on him. Let's just throw some water on this toxic waste. And then he comes back to life. And Captain Planet, he's sucking the oil back with his superhuman DSLs. And all of that is NSFW or NSWF, however you say it. But we don't see that part. And I'm sure that's the part you don't want to see. That's like on the bonus.
I mean, he goes full circus seal on the earth, Steve. He's getting it out.
That gawk action. He gave it that fucking, he was like, yeah. They put their rings together so this fucking superhuman guy can fly just so he can like gawk some fucking oil out of the world.
Is that Captain Planet or Superhead? I couldn't even tell, Steve. Other than one of them's a glass dildo that has a fucking flat top. Well, who
Captain
came up with
Planet?
the look of Captain
Karen
Planet is my
Steffens.
thing. Who was the guy? Who was the fucking genius that was like, we're going to go with this? Fucking weird fucking glass sting with a green flat top.
Yeah.
It's going to work.
So, the wrestler Sting? Yeah. Wouldn't it be cool if he had green hair?
Think of Sting. Picture him in your head. Okay. I'm with you. Now make him not cool. Oh. Got it.
Hey, Captain Planet's cool. You just got to watch more.
You're right. I must, but I can't believe it made it more than like a season. Like, I get it. For like Arbor Day or some shit, like, it's great. Parade Captain Planet out. But 4 seasons of this shit? How many dolphins can this guy clean off, Steve?
Hey, bro, they were being socially responsible. They had, they touched on so many different topics. There's so much in this cold world, Matt, that they couldn't address in 4 to 5 seasons.
You're right. But what they do, Steve, other than just making you aware of, environmental issues in general with the cartoon, at the end, we get a little G.I. Joe shit where Captain Planet's telling you some lessons about keeping the earth clean. He tells you, don't be a Greedly. And then with every episode, we get, the power is yours.
Join me in the Planeteers and saving the environment. Yeah.
I'd rather give me a Ninja Turtle. Fuck this guy.
See, man, Captain Planet will beat Batman's ass. I stand on that.
Nah, because Batman will pull out a fucking Snickers wrapper and fucking smear it on Captain Planet and it's over with. He's a genius. You're kid.
But
You're
all
crazy.
take-
Greedly had him, Steve. You telling me Greedly's better than Batman?
But that's what the Planeteers are there for. They're like the guy that fucking patches the eyes between the rounds in boxing matches, man. They're like, oh shit, he's got some fucking candy wrapper on him. Let me fucking wipe
Yeah,
that
but
off.
while fucking Captain America or Captain Planet's on the fucking ground busting all over himself because he's dirty, Batman's fucking killing each of the Planeteers one by one with some fucking crazy machine that he's come up with. And then
Can Batman suck oil out of the world, Matt? No, the fuck he cannot.
he can.
He has
He'll
to
build.
get
He'll
his
buy a
int-
machine that does it, Steve. He's billionaire. He's a trillionaire.
Nothing. There's nothing on his utility belt that can do such a thing.
Man, he'll fucking hit Gaia up and be like, "Hey, girl, what's up?" And then he'll figure out how to get those rings, make them better. I'm telling you, Steve. This is stupid. This is a dumb pot conversation, but I'm telling you, Batman versus Captain America. You know, give him a garbage can with some garbage in it, and it's over with.
Captain
Batman
Planet will
wins.
cockslap that boy. But in 1991, Erie, Indiana premieres on NBC. Teenage weirdness investigator Marshall Teller adventures through his small town home with his friends Geeky Simon Holmes and Mysterious Dash X.
Did you
remember
watch
in-
this?
I did not.
It wasn't at the level of like Are You Afraid of the Dark, but it was sort of a cool, they tried to make like a little spooky joint. I don't remember what channel it was on, but I definitely checked this one out. I was into it, but I really don't think it lasted too long.
I believe it lasted a season.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's weird that we remember something like this. It only lasted for a handful of episodes, but it just, I don't know.
I think there's a certain time
things.
where like you're just like into something. Like I just was into, it was on Saturday mornings, I think, and you were just consuming shit, and I was so into like that was a thing for me. Getting up, the fucking stereotypical getting a big ass bowl of cereal and just watching TV for 4 or 5 hours on a Saturday morning, dude. I miss it, Steve. I miss it.
Vibes. That following year, 1992, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch released the album You Gotta Believe. Better
Shout
believe.
out. Dude, do you remember any of this guy's songs? Because I listened to a podcast where they were just making fun of this album, and I didn't realize that he was like a social awareness like rapper. You know, like there was a lot of social messaging in some of his songs. It was very strange.
I want to fuck. It's my big dick. So everybody get ready fucking now.
Yeah, because it was the early 90s and you can get away with that kind of shit.
Yeah, but his brother Donnie just wanted to hooked him up with a fucking, he produced this or whatever. He got this done, and Marky Mark was out there shirtless, you know, thirst trapping chicks in the early 90s, Steve.
In his underdraws. And he's eclipsed Donnie at this point, you think?
Oh, yeah. Donnie's Fredo at this point, you know, he's hanging on. He's hoping to get some of that drip. But also, that being said, Marky Mark's like on a movie level, and Donnie's still working in TV. I think he's on that Blue Blood show, so CBS. I mean, he's old anyway. You know, he's a geriatric now. But yeah, I mean, Marky Mark, after Boogie Nights and Fear and shit, it was over with. You know,
Why'd you do that, Scotty?
God,
Fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot.
But in 1993, the single I'd Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That, sung by Meatloaf and composed by Jim Steinman, is released. It goes on to be #1 in 28 countries. Jeez. Y'all liked it that much?
Yeah. I don't know, Steve. Meatloaf, cool album art. Another fat man making it, and I love that. And also I love Meatloaf because he was part of a Tenacious D movie. and he was in a Tenacious D song, and I love that. But Meatloaf on his own or on its own, I'm not eating Meatloaf, and I'm not listening to Meatloaf, Steve.
Cause he would do anything for love, but he wouldn't get his vax. And in 1994, Martin releases the episode I've Got Work to Do. Gina and Pam live together and hate it. With Gina's encouragement, Martin searches and finds several jobs, but quits all of them.
Yeah, Steve, we made a decision thinking this was a different episode. No disrespect to Martin or Topper Crew or any of the creatives over at Martin's TV show, but this was not the episode we thought of. We thought it was the one where he desperately, starts working with Hustle Man and sells some shirts outside of a Whitney Houston concert. But Hustle Man can't read or spell, so it just says Whitty Hutton World Tour on it with a picture of, I don't know who the fuck that is.
It's Bruh Man.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
it wasn't Hustle Man, it was Bruh Man.
Yeah. But that's not this episode. Because one thing, Steve, at various times in Martin's career in this show, he's out of work. And that's the case in this episode. He's out of work, Steve. He's got to find a job.
Trying to find his way. And we start the episode off at Gina's apartment. Well, Gina and Pam for now, their apartment, and they get a knock on the door. And it's none other than the playa from the Himalayas, Jerome Rome.
Oh.
If you know the song, sing along.
Yeah, Jerome's in the
How you
house,
doing?
Steve. This might be, other than Dragonfly Jones, my favorite sub character in Martin.
Oh,
Jerome's got
he's
a
my
couple of
favorite,
good
hands down.
episodes.
How you doing, junk in the tray? And Jerome's got his own business now, and he's selling pretty teddies door to door. And every young hustler must have one.
Where's my money? You get a Teddy Ruxpin that's got a little pimp style, Steve, with a cane, the fucked up gold grill, whatever the fuck it is. Even his bear has a yuck mouth, Steve.
It's got some fronts.
I'd buy it. If this came out as a collector's thing, Steve, I'm all in. Anything Martin, I'm into. But Gina and Pam, you don't want Jerome in your house too long. He even tries to get a menage at the end. They kick him out. And he's like, let me get a menage. And I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to shoot
Can't
your
blame
shot,
him.
Jerome. I respect that.
And so now we're at Martin's apartment, and it's Martin, Cole, and Tommy. And Tommy is asking Martin how many applications he's filled out. Martin says about 200 to 300. Tommy asks how many interviews he's been on. None. And I get it. It's like that sometimes. In there.
Yeah, he's not having good luck. So Tommy, being the friend he is, he's like, man, I'll take you to my job. But everybody knows Tommy ain't got a job, Steve, or we don't know what his job is if he has one. So what are you doing?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But Cole can get him a job working with him at
And
the
he has a
airport.
job.
Yeah.
He's a baggage guy at the airport. And I mean, he even says there's benefits. I was fucking cleaning Janet Jackson's fucking toilet on her private jet the other day. Talking about benefits.
After she puked. And he was the man for a day.
I mean, he got to smell that Janet Jackson aura in that bathroom. So, Martin's not into it. He's also pissed at Tommy for just fucking with his emotions, telling him he could take him to his job. He's like, where are you going to take me? Fucking, I'm going to the unemployment office anyway, so maybe we can both go.
And then Gina and Pam, they come in, and we get a little, foreshadowing. Her greeting Tommy specifically. Hey, what's up, Tommy? Hey, what's up, girl?
Yeah. They are, and they're being very obvious about it. I mean, this shit's crazy. And everybody's also asking Martin, because him and Gina aren't living together anymore. So they're like, are you divorcing? Or what's happening? Are you separated? He's like, I just need to figure my thing out. And Gina's can't be here, there's some times in this show where they separate these two. It's like, this is some weird logic, but Gina just encouraging him because everybody leaves, and Martin's going through the wanted ads in the newspaper, which I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. Maybe it is. That's hilarious. And he's very picky, Steve. For a beggar, somebody needing a job, he's got some champagne taste. You know, he's going through the wanted ads like, I need more money than that. I need benefits. I need more vacation. It's like, damn, bro.
Yeah, I need at least 4 weeks vacation on this one. I'm like, bruh.
And Gina's like, you just maybe try going to the unemployment office. Just see what they say. And he reluctantly, because this Martin, if he's nothing else, is a very prideful person. He's like, I don't want. They can't see me down there, Gina.
Everybody know me. I'm the man.
Yeah, dude. This is Detroit, bitch. WZUP's finest is walking around jobless. So, you know, he's got to suck it up. He goes down to the unemployment office, and he sees a familiar face, Myra, working the fucking line. And, you know, Martin really doesn't have a lot of good relationships with anybody but his friends and Gina, you know. So he gets in it with Myra. Myra is somebody famous that's in a lot of movies anyway, but just like, she's a salty bitch, Steve.
Yeah, previously her and Stan, Martin's former boss, they double dated with Martin and Gina. And Martin comes into the unemployment office saying, you know, hook a brother up. Myra, you remember me? And she was like, first of all, who are you? He explains like, yeah, it was me, you, my girl, and Stan. And she's like, oh, you the one with that high booty girlfriend, the one I don't particularly like. But this is my favorite part of the episode, where he's just like, look, Myra, everybody know me. I got to be undercover. What's up? I said, what's up? And then Angry Man, he doesn't have an actual name, but Angry Man just like, man, shut your ass down. And then Martin's like, I ain't got time for Richard Roundtree over there looking like Jim Kelly.
And he has to even hold, like, I think Myra and him, they just start cracking up while this is happening too, because they almost break character on that. But yeah, Angry Man shows up. That's another thing I like about this show. They just have weird characters that will just show up, and all they
just one-off characters.
Angry Man, you know.
Yeah.
But again, Myra's like, you got some fucking highfalutin ass taste. You want one of these high profile jobs. 6 figures.
Now you with me.
A company car, you know. You want that?
Okay.
And he's like, okay.
We rolling.
And she's like, you know what? I think I got just the perfect job for you, son. And then cut to Martin at Hoochie Burger asking somebody to take their orders, Steve.
Welcome to Hoochie Burger. May I take your order? You're going to
have to speak into the Hoochie.
And so he comes back home after a shift at Hoochie Burger, and he tells Gina he quit. Nah, baby, I quit. I mastered flipping burgers, but I didn't get the promotion. Motherfucker.
Well, you were there a day, motherfucker. It don't happen that fast, dude.
Oh, God.
He's like, bitch, I'm good. I mastered it. It's blah, 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 blah. But they didn't respect it, Steve. So he called it quits. And I think also she's like, yeah, but you might not want to work, but you got all these bills right here. And as they're talking, the lights get cut out. So, you know, Steve, times are tough. You got to do it. So, and he does, because the next time we see him, he's coming into Gina and Pam's in a mail carrier's outfit with them short shorts and that hat.
Yeah. Trick or treat, little slob. Did you lose another job? And like this throughout this episode, Pam is just shitting on Martin, just like kicking him while he's down. And this time he quit the mail carrying job because he was there for at least 24 hours and they could have at least bumped him up to head mailman.
I mean, why
after one day?
She's like, why would you fucking, why do you always have to be the fucking manager? Why you always got to manage shit? He's like, I'm the man. And also, when he gets a great rip on Pam here because Pam says something to him, that thing about the jobless thing. And he's like, shouldn't you be up at the airport sniffing luggage? And I mean, this is the greatest back and forth relationship in TV history. This is it, Steve. This is the prototype. This is number one. This is the Mount Rushmore of mortal enemies, Steve. It's this, maybe Seinfeld and Newman, that kind of
You're forgetting Al Bundy and his neighbor.
Oh, Marcy.
Marcy.
Yeah, exactly. Damn, they actually got it first, Steve. They were doing it, but regardless, that was a great fucking burn. Martin's always good for a couple of those. Pam, don't listen to him because you're a goddess. We love you.
And so now he has to go back to the unemployment office to get a job, and reluctantly, of course. And this time, like, he butts in front of a guy, and this is just hilarious. He was just like, man, you ain't talking about nothing with the 2 braids. Come on, Jack. I got to go to work.
Yeah, that guy's got a wild style too. Also angry, like people are just clowning him. And he's like, "Who? You laughing at me now?" Because the guy's like filling a form out, laughing at him. I think Angry Man's he gets a little giggle out of him. He's sitting there still. Angry Man, I don't think you getting a job either, my dude.
Man, sit your ass down.
So Myra tells him, this is your last shot. After this, I'm done fucking with you. I don't know what to tell you. And so this time he gets a job buffing floors at the unemployment office. And, he's doing what he's got to do. He's just accepted his fate. Is like, you know what? This isn't permanent. I'm going to just hold it down from now. He even got his first check by the end of the episode. $77.43.
God damn. Even in the 90s. Was that a week? Was that 2 weeks of fucking pay? Martin, what's going on here? I would think janitors, goddamn, you think they get paid a little more, Steve, but he's like, he puts on a good face. And I gotta say something. This is a quality of a woman Gina is. She goes down to the unemployment office that her man's working at. And not only does she go there to support the guy, she brings a fucking picnic basket for dinner. She brings this motherfucker dinner at work, Steve.
Yeah. She's a writer. She's Winona.
She's like, damn. She tries to clown him a little bit, and he's like, yeah, this is gonna make this work, and I'm gonna be the best floor buffer of all time. He takes it on the chin, Steve, and we know Martin's gonna go on to bigger and better things, but maybe a couple episodes later, he's selling T-shirts with Hustle Man. We don't know.
He has Gina deposit that check into the bank, so nobody tries to get him for a 77.
Marty Ma. But Jerome, we need to do a versus of the greatest Martin characters, sub characters in the show, like a hierarchy. We need to figure that out, Steve. Where the
Jerome
experts.
takes it all.
I think you're rolling in your mouth.
Back home in Minnesota, Brandon Walsh got straight A's. But in the high-pressured world of Beverly Hills,
You stole the test, didn't you?
being smart may not be enough.
Everybody cheats. We're not gonna get caught.
Welcome to Beverly Hills 90210 tonight.
It's your future.
But in 1995, Batman the Animated Series airs their final episode on Fox Kids. The final episode was titled The Lion and the Unicorn.
What's sad, Steve, this was the last episode of a groundbreaking cartoon. Like, I think this was the sort of one of the ones, other than like the X-Men and the Spider-Man that came out in the 90s. This one really nailed it. It was great. I enjoyed it. But this episode really wasn't about Batman. It was about Alfred. It was like his backstory.
And nobody cares about Alfred.
No. He's an old, he is what he is, but he doesn't need to be a spy. He doesn't need to be some like badass. Let him buttle or whatever the fuck. Just fucking clean up.
Need some extra towels, Master Dick?
Want me to clean up that dead hooker, sir? Yes, Alfred. Yes.
Foppish. That same day, 1995, Angus premieres in theaters. Directed by Patrick Reed Johnson, and it stars Charlie Tauber, George C. Scott, Kathy Bates, Chris Owen, Ariana Richards, and James Vanderbeek.
I hated this movie, Steve. I was a fat kid in the 90s, and this was a movie about a fat kid in the 90s. And all the stuff I hated about my life was shown in this movie, minus me getting a plum suit to wear to prom or whatever the fuck happened. Um, yeah, I didn't care for it, Steve. Again, I think it was just I sympathized with the main character too much at the time, and I didn't care for it. I was too in my feels to say.
A fat kid and his big-eared friend. Well, man, I think the cameras were following us around, Matthew.
Steve, this was our life. So maybe we need to go back and watch it.
Yeah, you never know.
But they did a lot of this, and I was more of a heavyweights guy. There was some fat kid movies, but heavyweights much more fun, much more enjoyable. I'd much more recommend that. But Angus, it was what it was. It has Shermanator from American Pie in it, that weird redhead kid that was in everything 90s because he was ugly as fuck, and like the Clint Howard of the 90s kids.
Yeah, be the ugly Jason in this scenario. All right, now be the ugly Jason in this scenario. Also
you're the guy
in
who's
95.
not gonna get laid in this movie, and you're the guy who's gonna.
You're just gonna hear about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also in 95, Hackers premiered in theaters. Hackers are blamed for making a virus that will capsize 5 oil tankers. Where's Captain Planet when you need him? Directed by Ian Softly, starring Johnny Lee Miller, Angelina Jolie, Fisher Stevens, and Lorraine Bracco.
I remember liking this. I don't remember a lot about it, but yeah, like Matthew Lillard. You see him; he's got like he's a weird dude in there. This was like one of those weird tech movies. They're hackers. I'm sure it would be hilarious to watch now because of whatever MS-DOS shit that they're showing on the screens and shit. That's what I love about 90s computer movies. It's like Oregon Trails on the fucking screen. They're like, I've hacked the system.
Okay. Right. Motherfucker, you're playing Minesweeper.
Yeah, dude. I've seen a Virtual Boy screen before. This is some bullshit like Star Fox technology you're showing me right now.
It's like win this game of solitaire. Yeah. And the world won't self-destruct.
I hacked the mainframe. Okay, that's just fucking Minesweeper, you fuck.
Should I pick the 7 of clubs?
Did you ever get them? Did you like just sidetrack Sally 5 seconds? Did you ever understand the game Minesweeper on the computers? Did you get how to beat that or win that or do anything?
I just never cared to. It just looked so whack to me. Like, what the fuck? This is just a bunch of.
I didn't get it.
It's a bunch of little squares.
I just randomly click buttons and be like, oh, I should probably go away from that, and just like eventually it'd be over. And I know there was like numbers, and I don't know. I'm dumb, guys. Sorry.
Back to solitaire. Stupid. And staring at screensavers I go.
I'm good at that.
Also in 95, The Usual Suspects premiered in theaters. A sole survivor tells of the twisty events leading up to a horrific gun battle on a boat, which began when 5 criminals met at a seemingly random police lineup. Directed by Bryan Singer, starring Stephen Baldwin, Gabriel Byrne, Chaz Palminteri, Kevin Pollak, and Kevin Spacey.
I mean, I love it. This was a great movie. A lot of shade on it now, in retrospect because of people in it. But I mean, we get a sexy Benicio del Toro being weird. Stephen Baldwin before, whatever happened to him happened. Even Kevin Pollak, who's an unsung, like, lesser known guy that was in a lot of 90s shit. Great impressionist. He's great in this. And
he is.
This movie's lived on longer because of how many times, like, the ending has been lampooned in other shit. Like, they'll always, I think they did it in Scary Movie. It's a very stylized ending, and like, you can call it cheesy when the cop realizes he's been conned and the coffee cup dropping to the ground, and Kevin Spacey limping out and then starting to walk and then like being Mr. Cool at the end and shit. Like it's almost, the movie was a cool movie of the 90s, and it's somehow become part of pop culture. Even like I wouldn't say it's that good, but it has. Does that make sense?
I mean, it's timeless, man. It's a staple in 90s cinema, and great acting, great screenplay.
Lock the Makaiser sauce. I just heard that. I watched this a lot. I remember when I first saw this, there was a few movies that when me and my friends saw it, we watched it like ad nauseum. I don't know why. I can't rewatch movies like that anymore, but yeah, Bryan Singer killed this. Bryan Singer is really not a fun guy, I think, or maybe he is. I don't know, but
Yeah,
you know, there's some shade there. Kevin Spacey,
there's some
obviously.
things. Yeah,
But
there's
this is
some
a
things.
banger. You need, if you haven't seen this, check it out because it's great. And it's got what's his face? Chaz Palminteri's in this. You get that legend too, and he's a badass.
Somebody who probably didn't watch Usual Suspects when it came out in the theaters, St. Louis Cardinals shortstop Ozzie Smith. He was setting a record for 1,554 double plays.
Ozzie Smith, dude. I had so many Ozzie Smith baseball cards. This dude was a badass.
Yeah. He was like one of the first baseball players that I knew of, like name wise.
Yeah.
Just, you know, the super athletic things he'd do on the field, doing backflips, doing these crazy double plays. Just one of the most heralded positions in all the sports, in my opinion, shortstop.
That's the hardest one in baseball to me, other than pitching, I think. But I was never quick enough to play the position, but this dude was. This dude, like you said, I mean, this dude could like fucking jump 10 feet in the fucking air. It was crazy.
It's fucking Bruce Banner. But in 1996, the Texas Rangers retired their first number, and it's none other than Nolan Ryan's number 34, as they should.
I think that was one of the first baseball players I knew. I mean, this guy was like killing it when we were little, before we were probably even born.
7 no-hitters, man. Dude, he won a World Series in '69 with the
He just
Miracle
looked like
Mets.
a fucking dad. You know, he didn't look like an athlete. He just looked like some fucking salty old dog down in the South someplace. And he probably was.
Like Arn Anderson of baseball.
Hell yeah. I hope Nolan Ryan and Arn Anderson hung out and fucking did some blow or something, Steve.
Fucking Robin Ventura don't want no parts. Come here, you little son of a bitch. So shout out to Nolan Ryan and Bankhead Bounce. Also in 96, a Fall Brawl 96 airs on pay-per-view through WCW. And I feel like the seeds have already been planted at this point in 96. Hogan has already gone rogue. The NWO has slowly formed. They got at least a little 4-5 piece, and they're just wreaking havoc on the rest of the WCW. Obviously,
wasn't like
Flair.
the Four Horsemen like one of the few? They were like trying to be like the faction that was like trying to hold the NWO off, you know, like wasn't that
tried to
sort of
hold the
case?
flag.
Yeah.
We're the company guys, and it was kind of a weird time because traditionally the Horsemen are booed for their heel tactics, but the NWO in the 90s, they definitely stepped it up, man.
Too sweet.
Wow, 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 wow.
God, Lex Luger is one of the ugliest gargoyle-ish men of all time, like in the face.
Such a pug nose.
God, dude. Like, no wonder he got yoked as fuck. He's like, I gotta do something because this fucking grill is yikes.
If you combine the Olsen twins' faces, I feel like that is here Lex Luger.
It looks like somebody like aged his face, and that's it. Or he's like he looks, honestly, there's a gargoyle in the cartoon where it looks like him.
It's like God was like, hey, I can give you this fucking great physique, all the muscles in the world that you could ask for, but you have to be butt fucking ugly. Deal?
I'm pissed now.
But in 1997, the Gregory Hines show premieres on CBS. Of course, it appeared on CBS. They would give this person
Gregory
who
Hines,
is
dude.
not a comedian. He's known for being a tap dancer. Of course, they would give him a sitcom on CBS programming. Yeah, and I don't want to besmirch Gregory Hines. R.I.P. He's no longer with us. I'm sure he was a great human being. He was in some movies I liked, but CBS. This is why the Gregory Hines show on CBS. Like,
I mean, it was like Gregory Hines' fame was like in the 80s. It was like a decade off too, where they're like, "Hey, man, you're alive. You want to show?"
you know the guy who's really good at tap dancing. Let's put him in the front of a situational comedy. Yeah.
We reached out to Savion Glover, but he's fucking busy right now. That's crazy. I mean, of course it was CBS, like you said, but like, why, guys? Why? Are you just trying to make is it like the producers where they're like, if we tank this network, we're gonna be rich, and it just never happened? They're like, these old people keep watching this shit. I could put a dead dog on the screen. It's gonna get ratings. NCIS, dead dog division.
Yeah.
Fuck.
These boomers are still here. Jesus. Somebody who didn't watch the Gregory Hines show when it premiered on CBS in 1997 was American wrestler Bulldog Brower. He was born 1933, and man, what a menacing grill.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't like that. That looks like a man who's possessed and about to molest a kid all at once. I don't like it.
You want to know how he passed away, Matt?
Heart attack from too much meth from those eyes? I don't know.
By sucking all of the oil out of the world with his DSLs.
Captain, he's methed up, gonna suck the earth off for some money.
So Bulldog Brower, his real name is Richard Gland. Richard Gland, he dropped out of chiropractic school to pursue a career as a professional wrestler. According to an urban legend, Brower has admitted to being a part of the Ku Klux Klan. However, there are no reputable sources to confirm this. After living with diabetes, Gland died in September of 97 from complications from hip surgery. At the time of his death, Gland was married to who gives a fuck, because he probably was in the Ku Klux Klan. Bulldog Brower eats several plethoras of dicks.
Eat a dick, Bulldog, you fuck.
No bakehead bounce. But in 1998, Marilyn Manson releases the album Mechanical Animals. It has Dope Show and Rock is Dead.
I mean, Marilyn Manson was a thing, Steve. Were you buying these albums? Because I respect somebody who wants to be a shit starter and wants to get a reaction sometimes. But I was never into Marilyn Manson to that level. He was a thing, but to me, he always freaked me out.
I wasn't a fan enough to get a whole album, but my friend Rob was super huge into that shit. And I just from being around him, I heard, the good shit. He had some tracks, Beautiful People, Dope Show was pretty cool.
Yeah. I enjoy it. Yeah, I'm with you. Yep. But, and also now looking back, the guy was a scumbag. He's fucking electrifying pussies. But what do you expect? Look at the guy. I mean, I would expect nothing less.
I mean, it's what it says in the advertisements. I mean,
the thing that always fascinated me that I never knew if it was like an urban myth or if it was real was that you'd hear during his live performances, he'd be cutting himself or drinking piss or pissing, just doing wild, divine shit. That was just you're just shocking people on stage. But was that real? I know you probably don't know. You probably never, of course you didn't go to a Marilyn Manson concert for the same reason I did, but could I see it being a real thing? Yes, but was it a real thing? I'm wondering.
Is Marilyn Manson even real?
Yes, Steve. It's me, Marilyn Manson. I possessed Matthew. I'm here to shock your pussy.
Dude, I've been a fan since Wonder Years.
How dare you, Steve? That kid's a cuck.
Hey, but in 1999, American Beauty premiered in theaters. American Beauty was directed by Sam Mendes, starring Kevin Spacey, Annette Bening, Thora Birch, Mina Savari, Wes Bentley, Allison Janney, Peter Gallagher, and Chris Cooper. And just 4 years apart, Kevin Spacey was doing his thing.
I didn't get the fanfare of this, though. He's a good actor. There was good acting in this movie. But this movie is about a broken, like, suburban dad who has a crush on some underage chick in the neighborhood. Like, that's one of the stories. If I'm not
Midlife
mistaken.
crisis.
Yeah, but I mean, but I think this is right up Kevin Spacey's alley. Maybe gender-wise, not so much, but you know, maybe he saw this as an opportunity. I don't know. I didn't even like it. I've seen this movie once because it was mentioned. Like, I have a book that was just it's called Rebels on the Backlot. That's about 90s filmmaking, and it mentions Sam Mendes a lot, but this shit, I don't know. I don't get it. It's a wacky one. It won awards. I think he won an Oscar for this, right?
I don't know if he won Best Actor. I know he was nominated.
I don't know, but I'm tongue tied because I really don't remember too much about it. But I do remember, even after watching the full movie, just being like, why?
Yeah, Sam Mendes actually won. Kevin Spacey did win for Best Actor. It won Best Picture, Best Original Screenplay, Best Cinematography. Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe I need to go back and remember some of the shit in it. I remember it being like a very emotional movie. It was almost like, remember the movie Magnolia, where it's like good, but it's like sort of just like a bummer to watch.
Really weird.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
It was kind of on that level. And like I said, there's some creepy sexual shit going on. And, you know, Mina Savari or whoever that chick is, she's hot, but it's a weird thing going on in the movie. So, I mean, you know, congrats, Sam Mendes. You did it.
Her forehead, it's kind of too big. It's not too big. I wouldn't kick her out of bed, but I don't know. I get Avatar vibes.
It's got like Elvira vibes. You know, it's like she's about to get bit by a she looks kind of like a vampire almost. It's very weird.
Yeah, she got baby teeth. But any cum rags, callbacks, honorable mentions?
Cum rags, Steve. I watched an old Spider-Man movie that, well, it's not old. It just came out on Netflix, and I remembered the character from the Spider-Man cartoon, which is why I'm referencing this towards the 90s. His name's Morbius. And me and my buddy got high and watched a new Morbius movie that came out that Jared Leto was in. And if there was a contender for the worst movie ever made, whatever that was, this is it's one of the funniest movies that I've seen in a long time for the wrong reasons. So watch it on Netflix. It's free if you got Netflix. It is so terribly
it's like
made.
$70.
Is it?
Netflix is like a mortgage now.
Man, okay. I need to call somebody because I might need to cancel a subscription. But if you got it, watch it, high, and laugh. Because if you, or maybe you like watching Jared Leto stare off into the distance for minutes, if not hours on end. That's what most of this movie is. So if you're into that, by all means, check it out.
It's worse than the Willy Witch Project? Willy Bitch Project?
Willy Bitch Projects? No, that movie has some redeeming value because of that. This movie, none. So other than laughing, we laughed at the right reasons, Steve, because that was funny. Morbius, not meant to be funny in any way, and it's hilarious, so watch it. But anywho, what about you, Comrags? Diarrhea marks, anything?
I do have a reach around, and it was in 1998. The Real World Seattle airs the episode "The Truth About Irene," and basically, this is the one when Steven smacks Irene. Why does his name have to be Steven? But he smacked the bitch and sent her on her way. And I just remember some shit like that.
That's what happened. She called him gay. He took it personally, let her leave, and then chased her down in the taxi cab, opened the door, and just gave her a nice firm slap on the mouth. I think they allowed him to stay after that for a little bit, but the stink was on him, and I think they just kicked him off after a while, you know?
Not to mention he threw a teddy bear in the lake.
Yeah, he got real petty after that, because he was like, hey, bitch.
You could smack the bitch, but leave the teddy bear alone. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please tell your mom to bring that Gouda cheese. Listen to Over the Culture on Sundays and sometimes Mondays. Wednesdays on Crushgasm with Kendra, B3F Podcast with Joey and Steve, and Don't Worry, B Movie with Amanda and Wade. This is Steve G and Maggie with Heaven in the 90s. Man, sit your ass down.
Funky butt loving.